Today we will be learning how to add and subtract mixed numbers. Now, basically, all we are doing is taking and doing the operation, either adding or subtracting. We're going to do that operation on the whole number portion of the mixed numbers, and then do the same thing for the fraction portion of it. So I am going to switch to my shared screen here. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to do a very simple one now. We're going to do 1 and 1/10, and we're going to add 2 and 2/10. Okay, this one, well, all we're going to do is we're going to look at the whole number portion. So we're going to say 1 plus 2, and that's 3. And then we're going to take a look at the fraction portion, and then we're going to do the same thing, 1/10 plus 2/10. And since we have a common denominator or like fractions, all we have to do is add the numerator and we get 3/10. Okay, that was a very simple and basic problem. I'm going to flip my paper over and then we can see how they're going to get a little bit more complicated. All right, so the first one that I have here, 7 and 1/12 plus 3 and 1/3. Now, the first thing that you should recognize is that the fractions do not have the same denominator. So what we need to do first is to get a common denominator. We're going to use the least common denominator. So just like we've always done, we've done to find the prime factorization of each of the denominators. So we have a 3 and a 12. And as we've discussed before, 3, it's a prime number, so its only factor is 3. And 12, our prime factorization is 3 times 2 times 2. Sometimes you write it 2 times 2 times 3, but we can write it in any order. What we want to make sure is that our common factors always line up. Our least common multiple then is 3 times 2 times 2, which is 12. Okay, now that we've found our least common denominator, we are going to rewrite these fractions or these mixed numbers using the 12 as our denominator of the fraction. So this one here, 1/12, we're going to keep the same since 12 is 12. Now we're going to look at, to get from 3 to 12, we're multiplying by 4. So we're going to take 1 times 4 in the numerator. Now we get 4/12. Now what we can do is we can add the whole numbers, 7 plus 3, and we get 10. And then 1/12 plus 4/12 is 5/12. So our final answer is 10 and 5/12. We should always look to see, though, that this fraction is in simplest form. And in this case, it is. Look at the next one now. 2 and 1/6 plus 2 and 3/8. Not like denominators, so we're going to do our least common denominator. We're going to do our prime factorization. So 6 is 2 times 3. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. Remember, you can use that chart in a previous lesson that lists the common prime factorizations of numbers up to 50. I gave that to you to use. Please feel free. So now we're going to do our least common multiple. We're going to bring down our factors. Remember, they line up. Take 1 from each column. 2, 2, 2, and 3. Okay. So our least common denominator is 24 because 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 is 24. So now we are going to rewrite these fractions, these mixed numbers, with the fractions having a denominator of 24. We want the equivalent fractions. So 1/6, 6, to get to 24, we multiplied by 4. So we're going to do the same thing to the numerator. 1 times 4 is 4. 8, to get to 24, we multiplied by 3. So we're going to take the numerator 3 and multiply it by 3, and we get 9. So now we can add our whole numbers. We get 4. We add our fraction portions. 4/24 plus 9/24 is 13/24. And that is in simplest form. Let's try some subtraction. All right. So we have here 8 5/6 minus 2 3/4. We need to get a common denominator. So we're going to do our two prime factorizations. 4 is 2 times 2, and 6 is 2 times 3. And then we're going to get our least common multiple, which is 2 times 2 times 3, which is 12. Rewrite our mixed numbers, the fractions having a denominator of 12. 6 to 12, we multiply by 2. So we're going to do the same thing with the 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 4 to get to 12, we multiply by 3. Same thing here. 3 times 3 is 9. Now this time, remember, we are subtracting. Right? 8 minus 2 is 6. 10/12 minus 9/12 is 1/12. 6 and a 12 is our answer. And one final one. 6 6/7 minus 1 1/2. Once again, we need to get common denominators. So we're going to list our 2, 2 and 7. Well, 2 is prime, so the only factor of 2 is 2. 7 is also prime, so that is only the factor of 7. So my least common multiple is 2 times 7, which is 14. So I'm going to rewrite the mixed numbers with the fractions being over 14. 7 to get to 14, we multiply by 2. Same thing with the 6. So 6 times 2 is 12. 2 to 14, we multiply by 7. 1 times 7 is 7. Now we can subtract. 6 minus 1 is 5. 12/14 minus 7/14 is 5/14. And that is in simplest form. And that is how you add and subtract mixed numbers.